In the quiet town of Willow Creek, nestled among the shadowy pines and whispering winds, there stood an old, dilapidated mansion known to the locals as the Ravenswood Manor. The air around the manor was heavy with a sense of foreboding, as if the very walls themselves harbored a dark secret that refused to be forgotten. Legend had it that Ravenswood Manor was once the grand estate of the esteemed Blackwood family, revered for their wealth and influence in the community. But a shadow loomed over the family, an unspeakable tragedy that had cursed them for generations. The tale began with Jonathan Blackwood, a patriarch whose ambition knew no bounds. He had amassed a fortune through unsavory dealings and sinister pacts, sacrificing everything in his relentless pursuit of power. But his thirst for dominance came at a price that would echo through the halls of Ravenswood Manor for years to come. On a stormy night, as lightning cracked the sky and rain beat against the windows like a restless spirit, a ghastly figure appeared before Jonathan Blackwood. It was a specter of his own making, a manifestation of his dark deeds and his unrepentant soul. The figure spoke with a voice that chilled the blood, its words dripping with malice and vengeance. "The sins of the father shall be visited upon the sons," it intoned, its eyes burning with an otherworldly light. Jonathan Blackwood's heart filled with dread as he realized the true extent of his folly. He had unleashed forces beyond his comprehension, forces that would haunt his family for generations to come. From that night on, the Blackwood family was cursed. Each successive generation bore the weight of their ancestors' transgressions, their lives touched by tragedy and misfortune. The specter of Jonathan Blackwood's sins loomed over Ravenswood Manor like a malevolent shadow, a reminder of the darkness that dwelt within their bloodline. Years passed, and the once proud estate fell into disrepair, its halls echoing with the whispers of lost souls and the wails of the damned. The current heir, Samuel Blackwood, a troubled soul burdened by the sins of his forebears, returned to Ravenswood Manor with a heavy heart and a sense of impending doom. As Samuel wandered the decaying corridors of the mansion, a sense of unease washed over him. Shadows seemed to dance at the edge of his vision, and the portraits of his ancestors leered down at him with accusing eyes. One fateful night, as Samuel sat alone in the dimly lit library, a presence made itself known. A cold wind swept through the room, extinguishing the candles and plunging him into darkness. And then, a voice, a whisper that seemed to come from within the very walls of Ravenswood Manor. "The sins of the father," it hissed, its words reverberating through the chamber like a curse. "You cannot escape your fate, Samuel Blackwood. The darkness within you will consume you, as it has consumed all who came before." Terror gripped Samuel's heart as he realized the truth of the words spoken. The curse of the Blackwood family had found him, and he stood on the precipice of a fate from which there could be no escape. As the hours passed and the night stretched on, Samuel wandered the labyrinthine halls of Ravenswood Manor, each step bringing him closer to his inevitable doom. The walls seemed to close in around him, the very air thick with the weight of centuries of sin and suffering. And then, in the depths of the mansion's forgotten catacombs, Samuel came face to face with the spectral figure of Jonathan Blackwood himself. The patriarch's eyes bore into his own, their gaze filled with a terrible knowledge and a hunger for retribution. "You are the last of our line," Jonathan Blackwood intoned, his voice echoing with the weight of ages. "The sins of the father must end with you, lest the curse consume us all." With a final, anguished cry, Samuel Blackwood embraced his fate, knowing that he could never escape the legacy of his family's sins. And as the first light of dawn broke over Ravenswood Manor, the echoes of his torment faded into the wind, a testament to the dark and twisted legacy of the Blackwood family. The curse of Ravenswood Manor endured, its tendrils reaching out through the ages to ensnare the unwary and the foolish. And the sins of the father lived on, A chilling reminder of the darkness that lurks within us all. Candle Ghost Castle.